Welcome. My name is Scotty Gex. I'll be your instructor for construction site erosion and sediment control. I think the actual name of the course is soil and erosion, but we're going to focus on the construction site, like when you go in and start to build something. In just a minute, I'm going to open something that'll kind of give you an overview of it. The first thing you should have done, and will do, is to go to the week one and read where it says read this first, because we have changed our format from no more due dates. In other words, no more weekly due dates. You can move ahead at your own pace, and this hopefully will give you a little bit of freedom, free up a little bit of time. With that said, be sure that you understand how this is going to work. This is a competency-based course format, and I want you to read it first. I got a little welcome statement up here, and I think I see some errors. But anyway, I am Scotty Gex, and I will be your instructor. You can learn about me in the About Your Instructor page, accessible from the home page. I am excited to guide you through this course. I've learned more about it in the last 3 years of teaching it and then being on sites, and so we'll see if we can't make this interesting as well as useful, beneficial to you when you go to work as a foreman. So my information is available on the home page. There's a link that says About Your Instructor, and you can read about me. This course is competency-based. Now, I'm talking about a format here, which means you will have the flexibility to complete most assignment, quizzes, projects, papers, etc. at your own pace within 2 primary deadlines. And you need to know this. I'm calling it a pre-midterm phase. That'll be the first 4 weeks. So all the assignments coming in the first half of the course must be submitted prior to the midterm exam, which will be administered the week of February 2nd. So everything needs to be in here by that date. You need to stay caught up. I don't want you all trying to turn in your test at the last minute here. That's the only downside to this that I can think of. You need, when you finish for week 1, go to week 2. When you finish week 2, guess what? Go to week 3. Skipping around is at your own risk or peril. I have designed this course, and most of my courses are designed as scaffolding, it's called. In other words, week 1 prepares you for the information in week 2. Week 2 prepares you for the information in week 3, and so on. So this opening it up like this allows you to skip around if you want to, but before you could, I'm afraid you're going to have trouble with subsequent weeks with that, understanding the preceding week. So week 1, 2, and 3. That's my recommendation. Of course, that's not a rule. You can't have that rule because there's no due dates there, except be done by February 2nd. I don't want 4 weeks worth of assignments piled up in front of me by February 2nd. That's not what this is designed for. Then we have the pre-final. All assignments for the second half of the course, which will be the next 4 weeks, must be submitted prior to the final exam, which will be administered on the week of March the 9th of 2025. However, there is one important exception to this flexibility. Participation in our weekly discussion board, known as the tailgate, is mandatory and follows a fixed weekly schedule. Every week we will have a tailgate, regardless of what else. And you're required to attend that. That is your attendance record. You miss a tailgate, you miss a week. Okay, got that? Hope so. Your participation in the tailgate is required each week week and is crucial for maintaining attendance. Posts must adhere to the following deadlines. Posts for the tailgate, as usual. So your initial post needs to be posted no later than Tuesday at 11:59 p.m., not Eastern Standard Time. I got to change those. That's Central Standard Time. Let me say that again. I need to go back and change that. I live in Central Standard Time, and that's the time that I will use. I thought I had all of that changed. But anyway, I'll go back and change it here, not as we speak. But just realize when you see EST, it's really CST. Second reply, same thing, 11:59 on Sunday, CST. That's third reply. Please note that you can't post in advance for future weeks, as the discussion topics are meant to be timely. In other words, as far as the discussion goes, or the tailgate goes, if you've got to do those in sequence, 1, 2, 3, because we're going to do them together. We can't have 3 students in week 4 trying to do a tailgate on a different subject and 2 students in week 2 trying to do a tailgate on another subject. So I'm going to do all these together because it's a discussion. Getting started. Here are the steps to take, the steps to get started. Watch the Start Here videos. Now, all of my courses, or my weeks or modules, won't have videos. Now, in the grades module, don't know if any of you are in that course. I'm teaching grades, introduction to grades, and erosion control this term. But anyway, there is no textbook for this course. There's a course calendar right here. Now, I used to say don't use this, but what I'm telling you not to do is use the Canvas calendar. This course calendar, you can find it on the homepage, as well as the tailgate guidelines. There's a pre-course test, and there's some other essential pages on day 1. Do the pre-test on day 1. Get the pre-test is a test of what you know now. Regardless of what your score is for doing it, you're going to get 100 for it. So do it and get your 300 points. A lot of tests are going to be proctored remotely by Proctorio. Some of you are familiar with that, but here is the directions to set it up. Each of the proctored tests, it'll tell you that you need to be, if it says remotely proctored, you need to set the Proctorio up. Communication and support. Time management is crucial in this course, especially in any course in a competency-based format. It's going to be up to you. You will be managing your time, not due dates. While you can move ahead at your own pace with most assignments, I encourage you to stay engaged weekly through the tailgate. In other words, stay weekly with the tailgate sequentially and adhere to the midterm and final deadlines. If you have any questions, concern, or technical issues, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll be here. Call, text, Canvas inbox, all those things are acceptable. I do have a standard, I think it's called office hours. It's 8 in the morning till, 12 at noon till 8 p.m., but I'm available, pretty much any time that's not 3 o'clock in the morning or, something like that. But give me a phone call. The phone calls seem to work well. Sometimes we can work things out together on the phone real quick. Here's my email. Here is my phone number. And so let's go back to the homepage. Catch my breath, and we'll move on through this endeavor. By looking at the homepage, you have access to home, you have access to any announcements, you have access to all the modules, and you have access to your grades. you have access to the big blue button. And by the way, I'll be using that probably in Intro to Grades this semester on a weekly basis to keep you caught up. Last class that came through in that Intro to Grades kind of took it a little lightly. In time we started getting into the heavy duty stuff, there were lost balls and tall weeds. We don't want to end up that way. So we're going to stay on track with this get together, probably on a weekly basis, probably on a Saturday. If that interferes with what you thought this might be like, I can change it according to popular opinion. This is how you set up your proctor right here. And these are the things that you can't see and after today won't need to see. That's why the little eyeball is covered up. But while we're here, there is no textbook for this course. Here's the course calendar if you want to look at it. You can see that I have week 1 syllabus, week 1, week 2, and you can kind of see what's going to happen here. Reading assignments. Now, these assignments are not necessarily something I'm going to have you read the chapter, answer the review questions, answer the questions, and take 2 aspirins, call me in the morning. That's not what this is. That means I want you to read these things. It's like I don't have anything written down here, but let me tell you this. If it's on that module, it's going to be probably on a test, and it's going to be more important. It's something you need to know when you get through with this course. So use this as a guide if you wish. And see, here's week 4 right here. That's a, I'm not sure. These are old kind of due dates, but we don't have them. And it goes on down to through week 10. And the thing that's going to happen here is a post-course test, just like we have a pre-test. And then we'll have the final exam right here. Okay, so let's see if I can find my way back home. Here we are. The syllabus. You guys, I may have a couple of new guys, and that's great. That's exciting to get new guys. But some of you have already been through these syllabus. They really don't change too much except for the textbook and things like that. But we're required to take a look at it, so we're going to. Let's open her up right here. There's me again. Here's the way you get in touch with me. Here's my email, the Canvas inbox. Here's my phone number, and it lists my office hours. But as I said, if it's 9 in the morning and you're on a Sunday, give me a call. I might be available, and you're trying to get something finished. Call me. See if I can help you. Here's the information on the course. It's the course code or number is ER101, and its official name is Soil and Erosion Control. But remember, the focus will be on, I'll show you that in a minute. Dates of the course start January 6th, end on March 18th. It's learning the LMS is Canvas. Some of you may have used it. Canvas is similar to Blackboard. There's no textbook required. As you can see, tailgates, which are the discussions are weighed heavily here. Essay assignments are weighed heavily as far as your grade is concerned. Final exam 20%, midterm 15%. You need a laptop, you need a desktop, but what you can't do is take a test using your phone. Now, there may be some things that you can do if you have a Canvas mobile app, but taking a test is not one of them. You will not be able to see the images if you're using your phone. So if you have an iOS operating system, which is Apple or what is it? I got it written down in some places here. What is that? MacBook or things like that. You're going to, and like some of the things I'll ask you to do is to take a picture, or you may have an assignment you do on a sheet of notebook paper, and the only way to submit it is take a photo of it, make a file of it, and then send it to me. Now, when you use your camera to do that, your file's going to come out as a HEIC. I forgot what that means, but most Apple products, that's what type file you get. Now, you're going to have to convert that to either JPEG or PNG. I'm not going to convert those things for you, but some of the things I can't deal with unless they're converted to either JPEG or PNG. So you do that. It's your Apple. All right, this is really big deal here, right here. I have had really good luck with these guys, the Canvas Support Hotline. When you get an IT problem, now it may be that somehow you're locked out of course, probably something I can handle. It may be a little bit deeper than that. But if we run into something, an issue that I'm not familiar with, I'm going to ask you to call Canvas because you're who they need to see or talk to. They can get inside your Canvas course and your assignments and help figure out what the IT issue is. So don't hesitate to call these guys. They're going to be getting back to you pretty quick, and they'll work with you until we get it done. If that turns out not to be the case, you get in touch with me, and I'll get in touch with them. Okay. I don't think if you're familiar with online format for education, then I don't think you're going to be required to do this student orientation where you go through a little sample Canvas course. All of our policies are in the there should be a link to the course catalog. But here's the policy anyway. We'll just read it from here. Attendance, that's an important thing. Right here it says, in a distance education context, documenting that a student has logged into an online class is not sufficient by itself to demonstrate academic attendance by the student. The class instructor, that's me, must demonstrate that the student participated in class or was otherwise engaged in an academically related activity such as contributed by an online discussion, and in this case it must be by an online discussion known as the tailgate. I have the authority to determine what constitutes commencements of attendance in a tailgate. If a student enrolls in a class and is reported as not attending by the class instructor, the student will be automatically dropped from the class. That's not true. If there's a situation going on that's beyond your control, we can work with you. But if you're just not coming to class, showing up, contributing regularly, we got to have a talk, because we can't be graduating people that don't know anything. And if you're not here, you can't learn anything or can't learn enough. So let's go. Code of conduct, that would be in your campus catalog. Somewhere there's a link for it. I thought it was in here, but I could be wrong. But page 43 will be for veterans. Page 54, you can write that down for financial aid. And here's your Privacy Act, FERPA. I can get where that is, but accessibility, like if you're needing some kind of special accommodation, let us know. That's a way to deal with that. It talks about makeup assignment. This is not going to happen. This right here, I hadn't got around, and nobody else has either, into changing this. You're not going to be late because there's no due date. I can't have you, we're the one that's doing this. We opened it up like this. It's up to you to stay caught up. And if you turn in an assignment a week late, there can't be a penalty for that because that'll go against what we opened this up for, is to give you a little bit of flexibility. And hopefully you will respect that. But it's up to you. I'm not going to be happy grading 10, 12 students at the end of a term, or I'm sorry, at the end of a midterm or the final. So Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's go back to home. Here is the catalog. You can download it. You see where I'm looking on the home page under Contact Your Instructor. You can download that catalog here. Now, if you have a problem with me, another student, or any of the administrative staff, we have a process that really does work where we can get this settled and move on. So don't hesitate to speak up. If you can go to that and read it and see what the procedures are and follow those. And if you're not getting anywhere, call me. If it's me that's the problem, I'll give you somebody that you can talk to. All right? All right, good enough. Let me look at my notes. I just want to make sure I covered most of the things that I wanted to cover. Oh, I got one more for sure. I want a little bit of an overview is part of a module. I mean, is in the module 1, I think, of this, and I like it. So I want to open it up to kind of tell you about what we're going to be talking about, maybe even a couple of them. The video that we're doing right now, that I'm doing right now, will be posted right here, so you'll get another look at this and another chance to listen to me talk. How about that? Week 1 overview. I like to look at this. This is kind of an the objectives. At the end of this module, demonstrate familiarity with the online format of the course, which has changed now, right? Demonstrate an understanding of the course outcomes. They're in the syllabus, and that's the way you're going to demonstrate it because you're going to have a syllabus quiz. Demonstrate an understanding of the course structure and the school's expectations of students during the course. Well, the structure is what we went over in the very beginning. It's competency-based. Complete a syllabus quiz. Describe equipment used in this course, and that's pencil and paper and computer, pretty much. Now, during the 3-day in-person training, you'll be on some equipment, and you'll be using some grading instruments, builder's level, engineering level, hand level, tape measured, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I want to get through that. I want to go back to modules and let me get, I'm not leaving one yet. This is, I think, what I want to show you. It's a really pretty good overview. This construction sites, when they contribute now a huge amount of sediment in stormwater. So there's a big push worldwide, really, when you go build a house, that site, you're going to start eliminating organics, surface vegetation, all the things that's holding that erosion back. We're going to be in the process of removing when we're getting that site prepared to put a building on or build a road. We're going to take all of the organics off, and that's topsoil, sod, all that stuff's got to come up. And then we'll start cutting out doing our grading. So let's read a little bit right quick. Importance of controlling construction water discharges. The EPA, of course, is over all of this. When it rains, stormwater washes over the loose soil on the construction site along with various materials, products, and other products stored outside, like gas cans, diesel can, that kind of stuff. As stormwater flows over this site, it can pick up pollutants like sediment, debris, cups, bags, plastic bags, chemicals from that loose soil and transport them to nearby storm sewer system or directly into rivers, lakes, or coastal waters. The EPA works with construction site operators to make sure they have the proper stormwater controls in place so that construction can proceed in a way that protects your community's clean water and the surrounding environment. Background on permitting. You have to have a permit now for our sites at the local campuses. We have to have stormwater pollution protection permits. So here are the activities that are regulated. You need to know these, by the way. A Clean Water Act permit is required for stormwater discharges from any construction activity disturbing 1 acre or more of land, or less than 1 acre of land, but that is part of a common plan, like a subdivision, of development or sale that will ultimately disturb 1 or more acres of land. Construction activity includes earth disturbing activities such as clearing, grading, and excavating land and other construction related activities that could generate pollutants. So the federal C&D construction and discharge rule permit requirement. I forgot exactly what the C&D meant, but we'll see it again. Permit requirements. Here are your requirements to get a permit. It's National Pollution Discharge and Erosion and Sediment permits for construction stormwater must address the minimum federal effluent limitations, guidelines for the construction and development point source category referred to as the C&D rule. All of this NEPIDS, they call it, permits for construction stormwater must address minimum federal effluent, that's water flowing, limitation, guidelines for the construction and development point source, where it's starting, category referred to as C&D rule. I think I read that. Here's where it is, CFR 40, CFR, that's where you find that rule, establishing the following: design, install, and maintain effective erosion and sediment controls, and they're known as BMPs, best management practices, and pollution prevention measures such as diversion ditches, to minimize the discharge of pollutants, stabilize disturbed areas immediately. In other words, you can't just let it sit there and rain on it. Has ceased and will not resume for more than 14 days. Prohibit the dewatering discharges. In other words, when you're pulling water out of a ditch or something, it's got to be managed appropriately. And prohibit the discharge of wastewater from concrete washout unless managed by appropriate control, or washout, clean out of stucco, paint, form release oils. That's nasty stuff like hydraulic fluid, other wastewater materials, fuel oils, and other pollutants, soaps or solvents. Okay, that gives you an overview of what we're going to be talking about. We'll spend a lot of time on the best management practices, the BMPs, and once you see them, you'll start realizing you've probably seen these things before. They're like logs. They look like logs you put on. They're straw, made from straw. But we will be going through all that kind of stuff. Let me go back to the modules just for a bit. We may or may not need a big blue button. General permit. These definitions, and there are hundreds of them, take time and just go through there. It'll help you negotiate or follow what we're talking about. There's just hundreds of them. You're not going to memorize them. And there may be a quiz, but there won't be a quiz on many of them if there is a quiz. Let me see if I can just back up here quickly. That's what we read, the thing. And then here's our first tailgate. Of course, it's focused on the subject matters: construction site erosion, sediment control. Do we have any assignments? Yes, we have soil syllabus, and we have the pretest. That takes care of the week 1. Then we'll move to week 2. It'll be about pollutants, and we'll be going all through get all this stuff read. Not memorized, but read it, understand it, and especially when you come up to come in contact or come across something that you just really don't understand, make a note of it, send me a text, email, or something so we can address it. And I really want you to learn this stuff. The EPA, you can go to their website, EPA. Just Google EPA's construction site erosion and sediment control, and it'll get you to the stormwater part of EPA. And in turn, that'll get you to where the classes to become an inspector are. Now, that's not a requirement here, but if you go through the classes to become an inspector, that's going to be a heavy duty upgrade to your resume, and you can do that for free. There's no charge for doing that, but you'll find those if you have trouble finding it on that by Googling the construction site, erosion and sediment control. Let me know to find it for you. But you might want to consider that, but I'm not telling you to do that during your course. If you get ahead, maybe, but it is a lengthy course itself to become an inspector. Okay. That's about all we need. You can see that we still have a few due dates showing up here, but we're not going to abide by them, and they're just due dates. It won't lock you out, and you won't be assessed a late charge for them. And see, here's your week 3 quiz, and it has a due date, but as I said, I've been trying to get them out as fast as I can. Then we go into week 4 and so on and so forth. So that's your introduction. Where's my notes? Let's see. There'll be an announcement showing up in week 1 that goes back over the format of the competency-based course outline we looked at once before. And let's see. Just read all of the material. It's there for you to read. We don't have a textbook, but that's plenty of material to read on here. So I'm gonna stop with that and get this uploaded and posted.